What's up, guys? Today on People Now, Chris Cuomo gives us an update on his battle with coronavirus, including losing 13 pounds in 3 days. We have details.
Jennifer Aniston surprises a healthcare worker with a gift she won't soon forget.
Also on today's show,
now I'm coming back to me.
Just the Friday isolation surprise we needed, new music from Lindsay Lohan.
We are staying at home with Real Housewives star Dorit Kemsley.
And Tim Gunn tells us how the fashion community is coming together to fight coronavirus.
That and more today on People Now. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to People Now. Happy Friday, we made it. I'm here in Wisconsin, and Jeremy, looks like you're there with Avon in New York City. What's going on, you two?
We are. Hey, how are you? Yeah, this is my daughter, Avon. We can't stop looking at ourselves and doing faces. I just want to show you what we've been doing. So, a craft idea, craft hack, here we go. We've been doing this. This is actually Avon's idea. We just cut strips of paper from pieces of paper, stapled or taped them together, made these big chains, and so they're draped all over her bed. She made like a tent out of it. I couldn't take a good picture, so this picture that I have is kind of messy, but you get the gist of it. And what are you writing on every one of them?
What I've been doing every day.
So she's writing, it's kind of like a little log of like what she's doing
Wait,
every
can you
day.
Read some of them?
You want to read one? Here, let's see.
Can you read a couple?
You want me to read it? Okay. I got to ride bikes with my dad. Of course I would choose that one. I had a really good day, but we didn't get to watch Sonic. So some of them are complaints and subtle gripes. Some of them are it's like a suggestion box, actually. So there you go. Anyway, that's what we're doing. One of many random crafts and stuff that we're doing. Bye. To kind of keep busy.
Well, that's adorable. Thank you for sharing. I'm gonna have to try that, Jeremy. I need some more craft ideas.
But it's not all fun and games, as it turns out, for a lot of people that are dealing with coronavirus, and we're going to talk about that and a lot more today. Here's what you need to know and what's trending for today.
CNN's Chris Cuomo is revealing new details about his experience while battling the coronavirus.
Yeah, Chris joined Anderson Cooper and Dr. Sanjay Gupta from his home's basement on Thursday's CNN Global Town Hall, where he shared how he's been managing his symptoms, and he called the virus the beast, and he expressed to viewers that being at home is no cakewalk. Take a listen.
I've lost 13 pounds in 3 days. Wow. Now, I'm a big guy. I started off at 230 pounds. My wife is feeding me like, we were still in the dating phase. So it's not like I'm hurting for nutrition. I'm eating and drinking constantly. I'm just sweating it out, and it's the sickness. So, yeah, 80%, we're going to make it through. But the idea that it's easy, so you can be nonchalant, that is so misleading, fellas. That I now know for fact.
Chris shares that he's continuing to suffer from a high fever. He says around 101, profuse sweating, headaches, and impaired vision.
Earlier this week, Chris revealed via Twitter that he had tested positive for coronavirus. And at the time, he added that he is quarantined in his basement away from his family, and he'll continue airing his CNN show, Cuomo Prime Time, from there.
Well, we wish him a speedy recovery, and of course, we'll keep you posted as more news comes in.
Today's story to make you smile comes from a few of our favorite celebs who are showing their gratitude in a big way for the frontline workers in this pandemic. Jennifer Aniston made a surprise appearance on Thursday's at-home episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live to thank a nurse from St. George, Utah, who is on furlough after contracting the novel coronavirus. Now, the medical worker, Kimball Fairbanks, has 2 daughters who are 4 years and 18 months old and is currently quarantined.
Aniston gushed over Fairbanks, saying, "God bless you all and all of you that are out there doing what you're doing. I don't even know how to express my gratitude to everything that you guys are doing. Putting your health at risk, you're just phenomenal."
And as if this moment couldn't be any more memorable, this famous duo took it up a notch. Watch this.
So, Kimball, what are you cooking for yourself? What are you doing?
Oh man, I wish that I could cook for myself, but mainly I've just been having food delivered to me.
Oh, well, that's good.
Lots of delivery.
That's good, because you know what Jimmy cooked up is that you're gonna be getting a $10,000 gift certificate from Postmates.
Yes, from Postmates. And on top of that, Postmates has generously offered to give gift cards to all the nurses on your floor there, so that they can order too on the rare occasion that they get to go home and rest.
I love when celebrities and companies sort of step it up and partner together in a way that in this lady's life, it will probably make a big difference. At least I hope so.
It really will, I think. Aniston also caught up with Kimmel separately to talk about how her self-isolation was going. The Friends star called herself agoraphobic, saying being ordered to stay at home isn't much of a challenge for her. I find a lot of people saying that. They're like, when you find out your quarantine is actually just your real life, it's kind of funny. She admits that trying to digest the news is the most difficult thing for her right now, so she allows herself one check-in in the morning and one in the evening.
Yeah, and apparently all of her newfound free time has been dedicated to doing chores. She says her favorite is doing the dishes because not only are you doing your dishes, but you're washing your hands, which does make sense. I've been washing my hands so much, I'm actually getting like, are you getting like dried out? Like my knuckles and my hands are getting really dried and cracking. I'm in there, man. And I'm
Wow.
I don't know, not enough.
You're really dedicated to the cause, Jeremy. My hands they're fine. They're doing well. I think I'm washing them a healthy amount. I mean, more than normal, but not enough to dry them out.
Yeah, not enough to like literally get the skin to remove from your hands like me. Okay. All right, ready?
Yep.
Now we play the waiting game. There they go, the first 6 push-ups. One man took on one intense challenge while in self-isolation, and he conquered it, guys. He completed, get this, 2,400 push-ups in 11 hours and 5 minutes.
This is wild. I watched a lot of it, Jeremy, and it was exhausting just watching. The man of the hour, or should we say, the man of 11 hours. Fantasy Labs co-founder Jonathan Bales went live on Twitch and Twitter as part of a bet with another Twitter user. So the goal, complete 3.33 push-ups per minute for 12 hours.
So how'd he do it? Yeah, how'd he do it? He started with sets of 6 push-ups each, and here you can see that he does 6. Then he takes a break. He repeated this process for most of the 11-hour video. However, he then rotated sets of 6 with sets of 5, eventually tapered off to sets of 4 for the duration of the competition.
And if you're wondering how he keeps track of each push-up, there's someone there writing it down on a whiteboard for him and the viewers. One of the best parts of the video is seeing that number go up and up, and also watching that girl just get more and more bored. Like, why did I decide to do this?
Even though he's doing it in sets of 6, you can see throughout the video the physical toll that it is obviously taken on him. And here, at 10 hours and 42 minutes in, and 2,216 push-ups later, he has to mentally prepare himself for continuing. This is a mind game for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And here's his last set. Look at this powerful finish. He had T-Pain's song, All I Do Is Win, playing in the background for motivation. Bales even goes over the 2,400 mark. Very impressive. He says some of the money will go to COVID-19 relief.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. So for the past 3 weeks, between him and me, if you put us together, we have both done 2,420 push-ups, which is, I think, very impressive. I'm proud to be a part of that.
Wow. Jeremy, let's see a set right now. You have some space back there. Just do 6 push-ups. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I'll do one right after the show.
No, do it right now.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You ready? Count them out.
Go, Jeremy. At least 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still going. All right, now we move on to an epic musical comeback. Listen to this.
Now I'm coming back to me.
I like it, Jeremy.
Yeah.
That is right. The rumors are true. Lindsay Lohan is back with a new single called Back to Me, which dropped early Friday morning.
Yeah, Lindsay explains on Twitter that the song is about, quote, rediscovering and accepting oneself, shutting out the noise, moving forward, and letting the past go, living in the now. That's a good reminder. I like that.
Earlier this week, she released a video on Instagram teasing her comeback. It was a little eerie, to be honest. The camera is zooming in on a static-filled TV as the screen flashes with moments from over the past 16 years of Lindsay's career. Then the video abruptly ends, and Lindsay is heard saying, "I'm back." And now she is.
I don't know if the world necessarily wanted or expected a Lindsay Lohan comeback, but I mean, we're all sort of stuck at home looking for new things to entertain us and to pass the time if we're doing okay. And I'll tell you that this is something I can get on board with.
Yeah, I mean, I can get on board with her music, and hopefully she can start a couple of those viral dance trends again.
All right, everyone, stay with us. Tim Gunn tells us how the fashion industry is uniting in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic. Plus, he's the DJ whose club quarantine has celeb fans like Oprah, Michelle Obama, and Rihanna shaking it at home. DJ D-Nice joins us. Stick around for that.
All right, what happens when 2 hilarious comedians start dating and then end up getting quarantined together? Well, Taylor Tomlinson and Sam Morril are here to tell us exactly what happens. How are you guys doing?
You know, hanging in there. How are you?
I'm great. Yeah, so Taylor, you've been on our show before, and we know that you two are long distance. So how did you end up getting quarantined together? Because some couples right now are split apart. I know you guys were across the country, so what's the story with this?
I was here just visiting. I've been spending a lot of time in Los Angeles lately because I was promoting a special out here, and I was here for like 3 weeks, and then I came out for another week, and I said, all right, you owe me though. After this, you got to spend all this time in New York. And then the quarantine hit, or the coronavirus hit.
Yeah.
And well, I guess the quarantine hit too. And then, yeah, she's not coming anytime soon. So we'll see.
You guys have been making these hilarious videos called New Couple Gets Quarantined. Whose idea was this? And is it kind of taking after your real life scenarios?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said jokingly we should do a web series about the fact that we're such a new couple and now we're stuck together in quarantine. And it's a testament to Sam's work ethic, which is beyond anybody's that I've ever met, that he was like, yeah, no, we're going to do that. And here's how we're going to do that. And here are the first 3 episodes. And if I were alone or with anybody else, I would have just said, yeah, that's funny, right? Let's just lay down again and keep eating. And a lot of the episodes, I think, have been based on actual conversations we've had.
Yeah.
Like I did want to watch Contagion, and he was like, no. A lot of times they'll say something that I think is hilarious, and I'll be like, that's an episode right there. And then we stop fighting and we start filming on my phone.
When you're not doing the videos, what does your life look like? What are some hobbies you're doing together? How are you staying busy?
Sam thought we should start a podcast. We're doing a movie podcast called This Is Important to Me, where we introduce each other to our favorite movies or movies the other person should have seen, like most people do in new relationships, where you go, you haven't seen this? It's my childhood. And then you force them to sit down and watch Hook. He's already seen Hook, so we're good. And then, yeah, I think Sam's been good about exercising.
Yeah, I got kettlebells. We did kettlebells in here. We're doing some weights. I don't want to, it's every time they're like, it's not like prison. You're like, it feels like it's like prison, you know? We're doing like very small area workouts, but it's kind of fun. There was a moment where I was like, I'm gonna get prison ripped in here. And then Taylor started baking cookies and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna get ripped, but I'll have bigger arms. Like you start compromising.
Yeah. Spending a lot of time together, especially as a couple, you probably have learned some new habits of the other person's or quirks that you didn't know before. What's something you learned about the other one that you didn't know before?
I've learned that no couple should spend this much time together. There should be a break. There should always be a break. And we're not, like Taylor was talking to one of her friends she said, this is like being married. And he's like, no, this is so much harder than being married. Because there's a pause button in marriage, you know, there's no pause button here. We have to find healthier ways to communicate. And I think we are, but it's like something that all new couples and even probably old couples are not used to spending this. Even my mom was with my dad for a while. It's like, look, we have to pick our battles, you know?
You two seem to be surviving each other. I would say even thriving. You seem like you're doing really well. What is your advice for other couples out there that are on the newer side and then just got quarantined together?
Ooh, I mean, I think we're lucky because we're just friends also. Like we're just like good friends and we like hanging out. I feel for new couples that are discovering deal breakers in quarantine right now. And to those people, I say, you know, we've all hit that moment in a relationship where we know it's over, but you have a wedding in 2 months. So maybe just hang on a little longer. Maybe just think of it like that right now, where you're like, you know what, I'm just going to keep hugging this person for, 2 more months, and then we'll go our separate ways.
My advice is get Halo on Xbox and play it co-op. We've been doing that. It's a great team building activity. Some couples are probably like staying together just because they're like, we feel like we have to. But that if one of you wants out, just get out because you can't get to the end and she's like, oh my God, we're so much stronger now. We can take on anything. He's like, oh no, that's not what I was doing. So you gotta, if you want out, get out. But
I disagree. I say suck it up.
Yeah.
Until you make sure we've survived this.
Yeah, I feel like if you can survive this, you're going to survive everything because you're stronger together, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you make it through quarantine together, you should be like common law married at that point. I think you've earned your stripes.
You've earned it. All right, so we're gonna play a quick game. It's kind of like the viral couples challenge that J-Lo and A-Rod did. I'm not sure if you saw that, but they were pointing at each other. You guys are gonna keep your eyes open. I'm gonna ask you a question and then say 1, 2, 3, point. You point at whoever you think is the answer. All right, so between the two of you.
Real quick, hold on, let me just keep these out of.
All right, between the two of you, who made the first move? 1, 2, 3, point.
I guess. I don't know. Both of us?
Both of us ish. Because I think I did a little, but I was in LA and I said, would you do a spot on my show? You know?
But that wasn't really a move.
It wasn't a move, but then, and it wasn't at all. But then I said, oh, to send me, you took a picture maybe. It was a joint move.
It was a joint move. Because we just kind of became friends.
We became friends and then,
it's so hard to tell.
Yeah, and then my move was so good she can't even tell I made the move.
All right, next one. Who initiated the first kiss? 1, 2, 3, point.
Did I?
Absolutely, you did. When you came to LA the first time, and we were both like nervous, and you're like, "We should just kiss."
That's true.
All right, who takes the longest to get ready? 1, 2, 3, point.
I mean, it's not even close.
It's a freebie.
But that's also like men, women. That's not fair.
Yeah.
You know?
I've dated guys where they took way longer than me.
But she also looks so much nicer, so it's also like, all right, take as much time. She is one of those people that's like, I need to put on all this. It's like, no, she looks pretty great when you wake up too, so she doesn't need to do all this, but whatever.
Oh, that's nice.
I've seen all the pictures of you sleeping. You're a very beautiful sleeper, Taylor.
Oh, thank you.
Luckily, I have a thing for dead hamsters, so it works perfectly.
All right, who is the messiest? 1, 2, 3, point. Yeah.
It's not even close. We've had things where she's like, all right, we're in my home now and I like it a certain way. And I'm like, got it. And then it's got to be like another conversation. She's like, remember, I like it. I'm like, right, you'd like it cleaner. I got to remember that. That's good.
All right. Who is more outgoing? 1, 2, 3, point.
Really?
I think so.
Am I?
I think you are. I think you're more outgoing.
You mean like in a social setting?
Yeah.
Maybe.
In any setting.
I used to drink a lot, so I think I just kind of have some of that like drinker's energy, but I also am super annoyed by other people, so I think I'm that weird mix.
Right. You're better at faking it for sure.
Am I? All right.
All right. Who is the better dancer? 1, 2, 3, point.
You dance way more than me.
I know, but you're better. I dance like a joke. You're actually a good
That's
dancer.
not true.
I'm not a better dancer than you.
We'll have a dance off later on the side.
All right, and this one might be really difficult, but who is funnier? 1, 2, 3, point.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. I love it. Sam and Taylor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having us.
All right, everyone. Today, we're staying home with Dorit Kemsley. She may be helping to bring the drama on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when it premieres on April 15th. But these days, she's at home just like everyone else.
And today, she and her 6-year-old son, Jagger, are joining her 4-year-old daughter, Phoenix's cooking show. And they're teaching us how to make healthy banana oatmeal chocolate muffins. Sounds really good. Watch this.
So, we're very happy to join Phoenix today in our cooking show. And I think we should get started. Now, Phoenix, what is your coin phrase? Every time we do a cooking show, you always say this when you want to get started. Let's get started. 1, 2, 3. Let's get started! 3 cups of rolled oats. Old-fashioned oats, any kind of oats. Here you go, Phoenix. Please dump 3 cups in there. This is our dry ingredient bowl. You could just dump it all the way in. There you go. Perfect. Well, I measured 3 cups before. I measured everything, so it's so easy for us just to pour it right in. This is 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Next thing we have is a ½ a teaspoon of cinnamon.
I want to do it.
Cinnamon. Jagger, you love cinnamon.
I want to do it.
You love cinnamon, don't you?
Yeah.
I love cinnamon too. A ½ teaspoon of salt. This is not sugar, this is salt.
Okay, but can I do this salt?
So this is what you need to do, my love. You need to measure. Let's see. A little bit more.
Salt.
A little bit more, baby. You need to fill in this spoon.
Mommy, what smells like salt?
What smells like salt? Let me have one guess. Salt? Okay, that's good.
Can I do the next one?
Okay, now, this is one of my favorite parts. 2 large eggs. Now, I happen to have 2 children here.
Joe can do one and I can do one.
Okay, now we have to mash the bananas. So you guys each have a banana.
Oh, yeah.
Let me know if you need my help. Let's peel it first. Do you know what my mom, your grandma, always tells me? To peel it from this side.
Yeah.
Do you remember she told you that?
Yeah, and also it's easier when you put it from this side.
Yes, that's exactly right. Okay, I put cutting boards down. So why don't you mash those up? I need a cup of crushed mashed bananas. Can I make a suggestion? Put a little bit of grace into it, you know, gentle, like this. See, you mash, because if you just, I mean,
Banana.
cooking with kids can be a lot of fun. Sometimes messy, for sure, but I think it's a really great way for them to use their motor skills and to have fun, be creative.
So Jacko is gonna pour the bananas in the bowl.
Ready, buddy? Oh, I have a feeling that this is going to, woo! So glad it's not too close. It could have just actually gotten on us. Okay, now what do? So we've put in the bananas. We need the vanilla extract. So you can use any kind of milk. We are using almond milk today because it's healthy and we like to use almond milk in this house. But you can use regular milk as well. So we've got a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. So I've heated this already. I love when they're getting along. And of course there's moments where they don't. 1/4 cup of coconut oil, slightly heated, it's tepid. Not hot, not cold. We want it to be liquidy. We're gonna whisk it and mix it.
Mommy.
You've got 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Did we wash our hands very well before we started cooking? Of course we did.
We sprayed the liners and now we're gonna put the batter into the liners.
You know, a lot of people tell me, they'll write to me and they'll say, please get Phoenix an ice cream scoop to do this. But the truth of the matter is, Phoenix enjoys putting it in like this. She doesn't really want to use an ice cream scoop most of the time.
I'll be back when the muffins are done. Bye.
Okay, wait a second, Phoenix. How long do we have to pop it in the oven for?
40 minutes. It's so good.
So yummy. This is the final product. Guys, you're gonna love.
It's taste.
The oatmeal, chocolate, banana.
It's taste of victory.
Taste of victory, you heard it here.
For more with Dorit and her kids, you can head to Dorit's Instagram at Dorit Kemsley or check out Phoenix Kemsley on YouTube. And watch the season 10 premiere of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That's April 15th on Bravo.
And of course, don't forget, you can watch more episodes of Staying Home With on PeopleTV.
How exciting!
Finally, it's happening! Hi, everyone. Welcome to Making the Cut. Yes!
Heidi and I teamed up with Amazon to launch the next global fashion business.
The winner will receive $1 million and will create a collection available worldwide exclusively on Amazon.
Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum are back with their all-new Amazon show called Making the Cut. It's a feel-good series you're going to love during the self-isolation period. I caught up with Tim, who told me how he's doing right now and how the coronavirus pandemic is bringing the fashion community together. Take a look.
Being perfectly honest and transparent, it's taking its toll emotionally and mentally. It's not the isolation as much as it is what New York feels like. It feels apocalyptic. There are no people around. There are no vehicles other than emergency vehicles. You hear sirens day and night, and you realize we're in the middle of a major crisis. We will get through this, though. It will just take time.
The fashion community is coming together in the midst of COVID-19. Yeah, can you explain what they're doing and how we can help?
What they're doing is using their resources to make masks and garments for hospital workers, even garments for patients, actually. And it's so wonderful that this industry that tends to live in a bubble has realized what their priorities should be. And I'm very proud to be part of this. And I'm proud that Amazon is doing its share as well, and Making the Cut just donated $500,000 to the World Health Organization. This is a time for unity, and we have to band together.
Making the Cut really pulls at your heartstrings. You're really invested. You're rooting for these designers. I maybe even teared up a couple times. It's true. And Tim explains to me why it was so important for him to do this show now. Watch.
To be honest with you, Heidi and I were a little apprehensive about the show premiering at this time. And at one point about 2 months ago, we thought, should we talk to Amazon about pushing this back to another time? And then we thought, people need a distraction. They need a feel-good experience. They need to be uplifted, and Making the Cut does all that.
The cool thing about it being on Amazon is the designers' lines will be available immediately. How do you think this impacts the designer, the consumer, and also the show?
Well, I will tell you, again, full transparency, this was a later evolution in our conversations with Amazon. Amazon saw it as a fantastic opportunity, and quite frankly, my brain, and I think Heidi's too, I mean, while we were excited about the whole idea that you can buy it now, how is this achieved? Well, Amazon does nothing if they don't work miracles, and they do. So for the viewer, the idea that your interest in this garment can be sated immediately. I mean, as soon as the winning look or the winning designer is announced, that winning look is right online, it's there. And 100% of the profits go directly to the designer.
The judges, it's completely stacked. Some amazing judges, including Naomi Campbell, which everyone's freaking out about, and also Nicole Richie. What do they bring to the show, and how did you get this stellar group of judges together?
You know, I don't know how we got this stellar group. This was our wish list, and a complication of the show is that these judges have to travel with us. So they're not living at home and coming to a set on every couple of days. So that was a big commitment, but we got our wish list. It's just remarkable. We were looking for diversity in terms of backgrounds in fashion, people who coming from different points of departure, and because that enhances and broadens the conversation considerably. And we were able to do it. I will say though, I was insisting upon a man. So Joseph Altuzarra fulfills that.
Yeah.
And because he's not going to wear the clothes. I have to say, I get weary when the judges are constantly asking themselves, well, would you wear it? Well, it wasn't made for you. So it's not really relevant.
When Tim isn't critiquing up-and-coming designers, he fences. Yes, he's usually the student, but the tables turned when he taught Heidi Klum how to fence. So, how did she do?
I'll tell you how she did. She beat the pants off of me.
Really?
Lesson number 1. And she beat the pants off of me, but you know why? She's a superb dancer. And my fencing coach is constantly saying people who can dance well can fence well. And she's a demonstration of that. I, on the other hand, have 2 left feet. I'm not a good dancer, but I love my fencing, but I'm slow, and Heidi is very, very speedy.
This is a global world. This is a world party. It's a global celebration.
I wouldn't necessarily say I'm the world's favorite DJ. I do think I did something cool, and in this moment, like everyone's excited, probably because no other DJ seems to be working as much.
DJ D-Nice's epic club quarantine is taking over your Instagram feed, and it all started when D-Nice decided to entertain his followers with a set on Instagram Live, sparking an at-home club that had some of the world's biggest names like Oprah and Rihanna joining in. No big deal. D-Nice shared with us the inspiration behind this epic virtual gathering. Take a listen.
I would be lying if I said that I did it just for my friends. You know, I've been like, you know, just home alone, just trying to, respect the quarantine that we're all dealing with. And, after a couple of days, I started to feel empty and a little, somewhat alone. You know, I'm used to being with either family or large crowds because of my occupation with DJing. And I just decided to sit down next to my computer and just play music from the computer speaker into my phone, into IG Live. So it was literally that small of an idea to do it. And we had like 200 people in there, and I would share stories, like share old school stories, and people were engaged. And the next day I started to incorporate more music and less storytelling. And then I would involve or invite some of my friends to do like the IG Live with me, do a split screen. So it was Dave Chappelle, Big Daddy Kane, John Legend and Lulu, and then J-Lo popped in that day, and like Drake popped in. So that's when I realized that, wait, this is actually something special that we're doing here. Like people are finding it fun to pretend to be in this club.
And it wasn't only celebs who jumped into the virtual club. Political figures, including Democratic candidates Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, even Michelle Obama stopped by.
I didn't know where they were going to do it. Like, I didn't know. I knew literally like 1 minute before Michelle Obama was going to pop in that she actually was going to pop in. I knew 1 minute before Joe Biden did. I didn't know that Bernie Sanders was going to pop in. I was shocked. I was just like, whoa. And then definitely didn't know Elizabeth Warren was going to be in there, and Cory Booker, and, you know, Kamala Harris. And like, I had no idea that they would pop in like that, and that they would actually stay around, because it's not a method that's used during like this whole political campaign, and that they don't use that part of it. The Instagram Live. Yes, everyone uses Instagram, but no one thought to do like a live and like kind of have a forum like that to where they can interact with, you know, their supporters. So it was a great feeling knowing that I could kind of like galvanize people to want to participate in this and want to, you know, and no one said anything political. It was really just having the presence in there because it was such a special night. This is a special time where we needed the unity.
And who does D-Nice hope helps him out on his next set?
I wouldn't mind seeing something with like Will Smith. I love Will. If I could get Will Smith on my club quarantine to even introduce me, like that would be awesome. And just come in and introduce me before my set. People would go and it would be mad in there. I'm gonna try to make that happen. I'm gonna put some calls out. Just gonna put some calls out and see if I can make that happen with Will. But I love Will Smith.
And while D-Nice is hoping for a Will Smith collab, his fans are hoping that Halle Berry stops by. So during his club quarantine, his followers speculated that he was flirting with Halle during his set. There's already a hashtag #BerryNice trending on Twitter. So is there a virtual date between these two in the near future?
No Zoom dates. No, I'm not that fortunate yet. That, you know, hopefully one day, but not now. We're just, you know what? We're just having fun. Halle's my friend, and we're just having fun with it. Like, you know, it could be light flirting, but nothing serious. We really are just having fun with this. And it's kind of cool. First of all, the fact that BerryNice was trending on Twitter at #4 was like, what in the world are we living in right now? BerryNice. I love it. She's a sweetheart, though.
He talked about that, said they're just friends. He said there's no upcoming Zoom date set for them. So, look, they're just friends, I guess. He called her a sweetheart, though.
I mean, I think it could happen. In this day and age, with everything going down, maybe they'll have a virtual date. That's what the kids are doing these days, Jeremy.
Please let the virtual date be on Insta Live so we can all kind of like peer into it.
Well, you'd think spinning music at home alone could be a little awkward, but D-Nice shares that he's actually been enjoying it. Take a look.
It was one of my favorite sets, was because normally when I DJ, I'm paying attention to body language, you know, like I'm watching you dance. And if you're not feeling it, you could potentially dictate the direction that I go into. Well, being that there was no one here and I couldn't see a soul, I just played from my heart. And the fact that I played from my heart and it hit people, it's like, this is what I should have been doing for the longest. I should have been playing that way and giving people 100% of who I am, and not 50%, you know, not 40% out of fear of someone walking off of the dance floor. I can play what it is that I love. And this has been a great experience for me.
I mean, it's really cool that he's bringing all these people together. Just listening to him talk and him having fun makes me want to join in on his quarantine club.
Yeah, this is a fun new thing. D-Nice says that he plans to continue hosting Club Quarantine while in self-isolation, and adds that once this outbreak is all behind us, he's taking his virtual club out into the world.
When this is all said and done, once we break through with this virus, that I want this to go on the road. Like, I want this to be something that people could come together and feel proud of. Like, you know what? We're no longer quarantined, but the best part about this was that this whole community feel that we had, and we came together in these chat rooms, and now we actually get to dance together. So that's like my mission once this is all over.
Before he died, Kobe Bryant collaborated with Wesley King on the 2019 best-selling young adult novel called Training Camp. And the second book in their sports fantasy, the Wizenart series, Season 1, was released this week. Wesley King says getting the book out there has been exciting but strange in the wake of Bryant's death back in January, calling it a timely story filled with hope and inspiration.
These two worked tirelessly to get the story right, even going through 6 or 7 drafts until they perfected it. So we wanted to know from him the exact moment they realized they nailed it.
Kobe and I, we talked, a lot about existential meaning of life kind of things. It's just, so we were always sort of banding about trying to find the heart of the story. And, this is an underdog story. This is a story about a kid who's defined himself as being the bottom of the bottom, essentially. He's so used to losing, he believes he can only lose. So this entire story is about redefining who we are and working toward our dreams. And it's a very Kobe-esque story of how you can get back in the gym, get back to work, and push yourself. We had no idea what we were doing. The only thing that we could agree on that we knew that we were doing was, this line we had was sort of affecting positive change through sport. So it was always using sport as a vessel to tell these stories that could help kids and that kids could relate to. So I think it was always, that was the idea, is how can we use sports, how can we use magic to package this and give these lessons that both of us wanted to share.
Kobe Bryant was known as an incredible competitor and coach in all aspects of his life, and collaborating with King on the Wizenard series was no different. King says he was surprised by Kobe in many ways. Watch.
He was, I say sort of the progression of getting to know him was collaborator to friend to mentor, because he was teaching me so much as we went along. In the obvious sense of basketball, of course, I went to him for everything that had to do with basketball, ideology, and coaching and things like that, but also these sort of deep philosophical questions, because he spent a lot of time thinking about it, and most of all, relying on his experience as a father and a coach, because he thought every day about the values he was trying to impart on young minds, as do I, but I always ceded to him in terms of what are the right values that we're trying to convey here. Obviously, I guess the first thing I was surprised to learn about was just that, he was this voracious reader. He was this classic nerd archetype on top of everything else I knew. I mean, this glass case set of signed Game of Thrones books, another glass case set of signed Harry Potter books. These were his prized possessions. I mean, I had no idea the breadth of his love for storytelling. And, very quickly, within a day or two, it was, he was no longer Kobe Black Mamba. He was just kind of this dude that we could call up and complain about, season 7 of Game of Thrones and, do these types of little things. So I think that sort of quick camaraderie really helped us work on these books, because, thousands and thousands of hours of collaboration on these stories.
King describes their brainstorms together as an eclectic and zany process because Kobe had such creative energy. He says that they had to really work together to package it, and their meetings were always uninterrupted, except when it came to Kobe's family.
Kobe, as people have said, was family first. His family was by far and away the most important aspect of his life. Everything revolved around it. His stories revolved around it. Everything was based on what he wanted to teach them. Even our meetings, he'd have to leave suddenly to go get some In-N-Out burger. He'd be calling me while waiting to pick up his kids from school. This was the core part of his life, and I admired that so much about him. That was one of the things that I wanted to learn from him was, how to be a better family man, how to be a better father, how to be a better member of your community. This was more important to him than anything else. For the guy who had so much going on, he was he was able to compartmentalize. When he was sitting with you, it was one-on-one. We were very keen on mindfulness, on being in the moment. That was a big part of who he was. The only thing that could bring him out of the moment was his family. And otherwise, it was just, let's focus on what we're doing right now. You're not picking up calls, not talking to business partners. He was a master of being in the moment.
King believes the ultimate legacy of their series is that the heart of Kobe Bryant's words and Kobe's dream of affecting positive change in youths will live on forever.
King was set to fly to LA to start working on their next book project the day after Kobe Bryant's tragic death in that helicopter crash on January 26th. Currently, everything involving the series is now paused, but Kobe had a lot of plans for the series.
He was undoubtedly the driving force that sort of energized everybody. So there was plans, as far as I know, that there still is. He had this grand vision for bringing things to film, to TV, to Broadway. He wanted to really expand this universe. And I love the stories. I love the heart of these stories. And, I can only hope that continues to move on and that we can expand to other mediums and share his words.
King remembers Kobe's distinct self-assurance and reveals that he always felt better after they spoke. He says he's going to miss that most of all. The Wizenard series Season 1 is available now where books are sold, so make sure you check it out.
All right, guys, this next one is for all you true crime fans out there. Investigative reporting from People's Crime Team is taking you behind some of the most shocking real headlines in our new true crime series, Special Issue.
Yeah, it's a real deep dive here. From the latest on the investigation into the Golden State Killer to details on how Wisconsin teenager Jamie Kloss escaped from the predator who murdered her parents and abducted her. And the latest on Chris Watts, who confessed to murdering his wife and children so he could start a new life with his girlfriend.
For more on these stories and other riveting headlines that captivated the nation, check out People's True Crime Stories Special Issue. It's available now. All right, guys, coming up next week, what does it take to be funny? The multi-talented Wayne Brady tells us what it takes to raise your comedy IQ.
Plus, the legendary, the one and only Henry Winkler joins us. He's sharing the new skill he has learned while in self-isolation. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a safe and healthy and happy weekend.
Bye, guys.
Kitty, 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 kitty. Meow.